Bergkamp. Perez. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello, and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland and Arsenal podcast. As you can see, don't change the screens. I am not questioning your powers of acute observation. I'm clearly not Danny. It's Deac, and I'm on my own. I'm a Todd. Yeah, we're here to discuss the fantastic 4-1 win over Leeds, which I have jotted down an absolute plethora of notes. Make it 4 pages, actually. Good evening, everybody. Or as Danny would say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. Just a few things to open up before we have a discussion about the game, and as well as obviously say hello to everybody in the chat. 2 things to cover. One, obviously, we haven't been here for a post-game in about 3 weeks. Lots of stuff has been going on behind the doors, IRL stuff. So I just want to give a gentleman's nod to the one and only Danny, the GFP, the man that I've known for many a year. Fantastic man, the man who created everything that you see before you. Yeah, he's got some stuff going on. So here I am to take the reign and hopefully do a decent job. The second thing is, as you can see, I am on my own. Normally there is someone that I can have a chin wag with or something or other or other. But as you can see, I'm very much on my own today. This was an active choice on my behalf. The reason being is the reason why I started doing the post-game interviews with ABW again in the last year or so is because I get on really, really well with Danny. Danny's a great guy. And he is got some stuff going on. So I just thought I'd do this on my own. The reason being, exactly, Danny the man, 100%. Sorry. Well, I'll say hello to everybody in just a moment. But I've streamed on Twitch for many years. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it full time for a number of years. So I'm used to sort of moving things forward on my own, interacting with chat, having a discussion. So I'm hoping that I can, pull from those pieces of nuggets of experience to be able to handle the show on my own. But thanks to everybody that's jumping in, by the way. It is super duper appreciated. Obviously, we've got lots to talk about because what a game that was, eh? So if you, if you want to send love to Danny, obviously his Twitter handle. If you don't know his Twitter handle, for confirmation on it, I think it's just the GFP. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Easier if I just do this instead, isn't it? Oh, that's why, because I'm not on the right Twitter. That's why. I was like, why can't I find him? It's because I'm logged into Bergkamp. It's just at @_GFP. So if you want to go and send him some love, you're more than welcome to. Please just go and give the guy some love. The guy's, Danny's a fantastic man. So that's the reason why, that I'm here and I'm doing it. So yeah, so let's just say hello to some people then, because Danny likes to do the hellos with people and shows them up on the screen. So we've got Paul. What's going on, Paul? You jumped in here quite early before the stream, so I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Phil, the main man, Phil. What's going on? Greetings from Ronnie. What was it? Hunstanton? I don't even know where that is, mate. But what's going on? Rudy, good evening. Good evening. Obviously. Of course, the Villa result. Did it finish 2-0? I didn't even see. Did it finish 2-0? Spending over £700 million in the space of less than 6 months and losing 2-0. Good stuff. Well played. Sai, hello. We got Rudy, need a beer. That would go down really, really well. Don't have any beer in the house, actually, so I need to rectify that at some point. Jim, evening all. Or evening, yeah, everybody in the chat as well, so that's cool. Phil, hey dude, what's going on, my man? Rudy, relentless Arsenal today, not the greatest performances, especially in the first half, but result is decent. At the end of the day, sometimes you just got to grind out and get the result, and that's what we'll do, and, we'll win the fucking thing. I'm my French. Sorry about that. Hope Danny's okay. Yeah, just chuck him some love. Obviously, I'm not going to have a discussion about it or anything like that. It's his business. but I just wanted to give him a gentleman's nod to the man himself. Danny the man, well said, well said. Hope Danny is well. Love him. Yeah, just go and send him some love on Twitter. So it's at @the_GFP. Just go and chuck him some love. Rancid Pumpkin. Hope he's okay. I wish Danny all the best. Yeah, he's all right. He's got some stuff going on. Just chuck him some love. If he wants to have a chat with you about it and in deeper conversation, then that's up to himself. We got Phil again. If anyone can do solos, it's you, Deacs. Thank you very much, Phil. That's very pleasant of you, sir. London is blue. Not even going to finish that sentence, even as a joke with a cap on the end, possibly. Rancid in the second half of the table. Nice. Like what you did there. Appreciate you, D. Paul, thank you so much. I really appreciate it as well. Get on with it, Deac. Nick, I will. I'm just saying, I'm trying to do the thing where Danny says hello to people in this at the start, all right? Just it's Norfolk Coast. I moved up here 3 weeks ago. Oh, well played on the move. I'm hoping it's a positive one. It's 18 bloody miles from a KFC or a train station. Yeah, I get it. Where I live near Derby, there's not much love in regards to Uber Eats, which is good. Maestro, love you, dude. Thanks for popping in. Danny is ABW. Completely and utterly agree with you there, Nick. Thanks for popping by the way. I appreciate it. Martinelli was dude of the match. Oh, I like that one. I'm gonna use that one from now on. And Clock Orange want Chelsea to go even lower in the table. I think everybody agrees with me on that. You on that one. Phil needs to further away from me. Oh, poor Phil. Yeah, but let's have a discussion, shall we? Because as I said, I've got lots and lots that I've written about. I predicted at the start of the game, or before the game, or last night, I predicted a 6-0 win. We were close-ish. I know that we posted up on the ABW Twitter that we were like 4-0 win. Let's not include the massively deflected goal off Zinchenko as anything other than that. So, but let's have a discussion then. So let's get the lineup. If you have any questions or anything like that, whilst we are going through anything, please don't hesitate. Just jump up and say something. I will put it up on the screen and we can have discussions about it. Norwich was being of the two of us. Nice. What's that? There can only be one. Anyway, lineup. Saka on the bench for the first time in 52 games in a row, which is just an insane thing to think about. On a positive note, it means that we have the squad depth in that area, the ability of Trossard to be able to use his utility for both his feet, his ambidextrous, to be able to play out on the right wing, which proved to be, I think he had a slow start, but ended up obviously getting involved in the game and performing really, really well. Trossard starting with Jesus as well. I thought that was going to be really, really good with the Martinelli situation as well. The fact that Martinelli plays really, really well with like an auxiliary styled striker, and he's got two of them on the pitch. And Martinelli, for me, was man of the match. I know that he obviously didn't get onto the score sheet this time, but I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was dangerous throughout the entire game. It should have been 6-0. We need to overtake City with a goal difference. It will come. I'm not worried at all. Even though they put in a decent performance today against Liverpool with another 4-1 victory without the likes of Haaland. But, Alvarez is a pretty decent striker. So what else we got here? Yeah, Holding starts again. So the Saliba situation, we're hoping the back issue is going to be, and he'll be back. Sorry. He'll be back at any moment, hopefully, before the Liverpool game. So we'll have to wait and see there. But lineup, as I said, not much to scream and shout about. It was nice to see Saka get a rest and didn't bite us in the bum. Tactics, I thought it was pretty much standard stuff. We know what works. If it's not broke, don't fix it, sort of thing. What do we got here? My cousin got me full of April Fools today. Do you know what? I saw quite a few. Obviously, it's April 1st. I saw quite a few April Fools jokes today, but I didn't really grab onto any of them. I was just like, it's too smart for all of this now. He told me Vieira became Spurs manager. Okay, nice. That's pretty decent, actually. Yes, I thought we were really, really I thought we were really, really good. So, yes, let's just jump straight into it, shall we? So, we've got the opening moments of the game. Leeds, I don't know if you noticed, they had the kickoff. Sorry about that. They had the kickoff. They did something very, very similar to Bournemouth. I don't know if you guys noticed that. They obviously had a bit of a rub of the green towards the end of that piece of play, which managed to get the ball in, and they managed to get a shot. But it was a very similar kind of playing it out to the, the side where Zinchenko sits, kind of like Zinchenko is that inverted wing back, and we're abusing that far right-hand side of the pitch. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that was interesting to me, nonetheless. As well, on a defensive point, Leeds were very much playing a back five, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, they're trying to squash the game, and we struggle with situations like that. I saw Phil in Norwich Chapelfield over Christmas. He was in Ann Summers. Okay. Then we got early doors, Xhaka, clash of knees. I don't know if you guys saw that. There was a moment where there was a bit of a collision. Xhaka running in and bumping into somebody. And it was a little like a clash of knees, but he was very much in pain, but it looked like he was able to run it off, which he obviously ended up doing and getting himself on the score sheet, which we'll talk about when we come up to that. Nervy start as well, guys. I don't know how you feel about the start of the game. Pipe up in chat if you what you thought about the opening sort of 20 minutes of the game. I'll say 10 minutes of the game. Very, very nervous. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. Even the Emirates was quite timid in comparison to how we've normally been this so far this season. So that was interesting. Was so tight first half. They had lead Sunshine Bars by a big side. Yeah, agreed. As I said, when they were playing defensively, they had 5 in the back, and even still, their central midfielders were dropping quite deep and filling in as well into pockets, which made it very, very difficult. But we know that once we get one goal, the floodgates open. They're going to have to play a little bit more progressive, and then we can obviously score a few more goals, and what happened basically. What a prat I get my gear online. Oh, is that about the Ann Summers thing? Nice. Philippa Macca. Okay, you're having a little thing. Nice. So yeah, there was moments as well. There was moments even in the defensive parts of the game where it was really good to see Gabriel Jesus back. I completely forgot to mention that. Obviously, it's Gabriel Jesus, his first start in what was it? I don't even know how long it was. Was it like 6 months? I think it's 6 months, guys. That's crazy to think. But yeah, it's his first start in 6 months. It's great to see him back. If you haven't seen the 3-part documentary to Coming Back Stronger, I think it's called on you can watch it on YouTube or you can watch it on Arsenal.com. It's like a 3-part mini series following the progress of Gabriel Jesus and the communications between Brazil when they found out what happened and the tear in the knee. And basically going all the way up to the moment where he was reintroduced with the substitution appearances. So it's a really, really interesting documentary. Once again, it's progressive thinking from the Arsenal media team to be able to cover something like that, so you can kind of see the progression of getting a player back onto the pitch. I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. I think it's a 3-part series, but as I said, it's a mini one. So in total, it's probably going to be about 45 minutes of your day. So I would recommend it. As I said, Gabriel Jesus brings that stability up front, but also brings that stability in the defensive as well. He's got that tracking back ability. Pep Guardiola calls him one of the best pressing forwards in the world. We see that day in, day out. Well, see last year anyway, in the start of the season, we saw that, and we're starting to see it again today as well when he got the start against Leeds. He brings that calmness on the ball, which we really, really miss. Nick's posted it in the chat, part 1. And then you can obviously, it'll be recommended for part 2 and part 3. So thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate that. Just a word on how bad Liverpool were. No help to us. At the end of the day, right? I think I tweeted it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this tweet, right? I tweeted something. Hold on. There we go. My fault for thinking Liverpool are a decent footballing outfit anymore. Jesus, what a joke they are, getting played off the park. If you didn't watch the game, Fabinho and Henderson, they're just walking around all the time, pretty much. They just don't have the legs in them anymore, and it's really, really starting to show. So, it is what it is. It's annoying because we've got that nugget of like, they could actually do it, and then City just did what City always do and just played them off the park, really, to be honest with you. We are the Arsenal going all the way this season. Completely agree with you, running commando, man. Welcome. Thanks for popping by. Really, really appreciate it. 2 goals from Jesus is going to send his confidence through the roof. So we'll talk about the penalty when it comes up, because there's something that I noticed about it. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but there is something that I noticed about it that I really loved about Odegaard. But as I said, we'll discuss that as we come up to it. Aiding clearly hit the knee of Jesus, clearly pen for me, 100%. I agree. It is a pen. We'll come up to that in just a moment. I think it's the 31 minutes. So we'll come up to that in just a moment. I've got a few other things that I want to have a discussion about. It was bad. If you're talking about the clashing of knees, then yes. And we got here as well. John Walsh said City are a better side without Haaland, so it's all John's fault. I agree with that sentiment. It's quite widely known that Pep Guardiola didn't want Haaland because Pep likes to play with non-strikers, a strikerless formation, and Haaland is very much that. As much as he scored 42 goals this season, which is just an incredible achievement within itself, and we kind of knew that was coming. However, he's very much a striker. And Pep loves to play that free-flowing, attacking football. It's all interchanging constantly. And that's what we're doing at the Arsenal. And that's the reason why Martinelli pairs up with Gabriel, Jesus and Trossard so well, because no one's really a striker. No one's like a number 9. They're all kind of auxiliary false nines. And I really, really like that. So, John Walsh got it spot on. City are better without Haaland paradox, but it's completely the truth. Completely agree with you there. We'll beat Liverpool next week. We will. I'm not worried about Liverpool. I think, obviously, with the game at the start of the season where we beat them 3-2 at the Emirates, we still had that mindset of this is Liverpool of the last few years, and we're seeing now that's not the case. So I'm hoping that the Arsenal players have got in their mind, this is a fucking awful Liverpool side right now. Let's completely take advantage of it, and I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. I noticed as well, Martinelli was playing up the top. Gabriel Jesus were kind of chopping and changing, which I really, really liked. It's got that free fluid attacking, as I was just talking about as well. Martinelli winning the ball. He's got the tracking back ability, which I really, really loved. What else we got here? I made so many notes, like an unbelievable amount of notes. It's crazy. Liverpool ways different, though. I completely and utterly agree with you. We saw the Prime Video documentary from the start of the season, from the previous season, where we all know how that ended, missing out on top 4 football. But there was that moment where Arteta got out the speakers and played You Never Walk Alone whilst they were training to kind of get them in the atmosphere, because Sai is completely correct. Playing at Anfield is a different kettle of fish, but I'm really hoping that the Arsenal players have gotten it over their heads that this Liverpool team is not the same Liverpool of the last few years. So the atmosphere is going to be still there, but the team is very much not. They are very much, they're a shadow of their former selves since Mane left, that's for sure. I don't know how if you guys agree with me on that one. I thought Somerville was really, really good for Leeds, sorry. I thought he had a decent game out of all the Leeds players. I thought he had a decent game. Leeds sort of stifling, strangling the game, kind of stopping us from playing football. The referee had a few moments as well where I thought his decision making was a little bit unsure in every single which way. And then we got the penalty, which we are going to discuss now. So we got the penalty here. Just too much. Jesus has just got too much. He's got that technical ability about him. Wherever it is on the pitch, it doesn't really matter whether it's in our penalty box or in their penalty box, and he's just got too much. I heard some talks as well that apparently some people were thinking it was a pen or it wasn't a penalty. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. Did you think this was a penalty? Did you not think it was a penalty? Did you think it was a light penalty? I think a penalty was like Vin Diesel, isn't it? From Fast and Furious, winning's winning. A penalty's a penalty, right? There was contact made on the knee of Gabriel Jesus, and contact was made, and we go down, and the VAR system as well said that it was a clear penalty. So let me know what you guys thought, if it was a penalty or not. Haaland was not a pet player. True, he would trade Haaland for Odegaard before he had his second glass of wine. Completely agree with you. I love Odegaard. Oh my god, I still really can't believe that we managed to sign Odegaard. What a player. City lost at Liverpool. Any big six? I completely agree with you. I really, it's got that PMA about me, that positive mental attitude. Was so chuffed when Herb Garden, nice, gave the ball to Jesus. Definitely a pen. So, and Nick said, I think it was soft, but I'd be upset if it was against us. Completely agree. Size put it's not a penalty if a player was Saka, but it was a bit if player was Saka, but it's a bit soft. I agree, it was a soft penalty, but a penalty is a penalty. Now, the thing that I noticed, obviously, Phil calling him Herb Garden, that's my new favorite name for Odegaard. Odegaard had this thing because obviously everybody, I'm guessing, around the world was screaming at the screen, going, "Give it to Gabriel Jesus! He needs the goal to kickstart him to go." And he obviously gets another goal to get his scoring boots back on. You know, it's been 6 months since he's since the start for Arsenal. We really need him to get that goal, and this is a fantastic opportunity. He's won the penalty. It makes complete and utter sense. But you see Odegaard sort of hovering around the penalty spot with the ball in his hand, sort of focusing and just looking down. And, you know, in moments like that, the other team is trying to mess with him. The defenders, the goalkeeper, they're all trying to get into his head, mind games, so on and so forth. So they're all trying to pile pressure on Odegaard, and every other Arsenal player is kind of hovering around and doing stuff. As I said, I thought it was a fantastic moment where you see Odegaard giving the ball to Gabriel Jesus the moment the penalty is about to be taken, which gave Gabriel Jesus the, no pressure, no atmosphere, no mind games aimed towards him, giving him a fresh and open mind to go up and take the penalty. Odegaard took all that on the chin and then gave it over to Gabriel Jesus, which he calmly slotted down the middle of the goal, which was just standard stuff from him, I really think. What have we got here? Winning at Anfield is going to be hard. I agree with you, Clock, but I think we still got it. What we got, what it takes. It only a dive if Kane does it. Agreed. Patrick, welcome. How you doing? I'm crap at remembering names, so give me nicknames instead. I like it. Herb Garden. Give me a list of other names as well throughout the stream, because I'm interested to see your concept on other people's names. So that'd be quite funny. ZX. I'm hoping that I pronounced that name right. Welcome. Saka is invincible this season. As I said, I love the fact that we allowed him to have a break this afternoon and not give him his 53rd start in a row. Crazy to think, but we managed to give him a rest, and we've got the abilities of Trossard to be able to come on and do the business. And Jesus Christ, Trossard's incredible. Absolutely incredible player. I tweeted out Trossard in 11 appearances now for the Arsenal has got 7 assists and 1 goal. The guy and he's done it in a couple of months. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Rudy, we played our best games away from the Emirates this season, so I expect another win for the mighty Arsenal. Rudy, completely agree. I'd take a draw at Anfield and the Etihad. I think that would be a smart decision, but I'd love to go all the way. But Nick, that's a very astute idea, that's for sure. So yeah, great penalty from Odegaard. Odegaard, he's holding the ball the entire time, made me think it's Odegaard. So he got into my head even. That's how smart he is. Love him. Anyway, so Gabriel Jesus managing to get his first goal in quite some time, since obviously before the World Cup. And it was good to see him enjoy it as well, embrace it. And it's a good place as well, scoring his first goal back at the Emirates. It kind of, I think the sting would have been taken out if it was an away game. So it's really nice that he managed to get it at the Emirates. I think that really, really helped. 40th minute, Martinelli having a shot from distance and Luke Ayling kind of fumbling it but not managing to get into the back of the net. It is what it is. I thought Martinelli had a great game. Don't know about you guys. I thought he had a freaking amazing game. And then first half is done. I thought the game was fairly even in all respects, if I'm honest with you, up until the penalty. Leeds were kind of strangling the game, slowing the game down, playing very, very defensive, closing all the pockets up. But we managed to get the penalty, which broke the deadlock, meaning that Leeds would have to come out in the second half and really push at us, which works for us beautifully. And that's what happened. 46th minute, Martinelli plays it down the left-hand side, puts the ball across the goal face, the goal of the face of the goal, goal of the face of the goal. And Mr. Benny Blanco, the man himself, he's been there before. This is his second goal this season, and he goes and puts it into the back of the net. That's twice now he scored a goal like that, hasn't he? It's craziness. So it was a beautifully well taken goal from him. There was no needs of issues of looking at a wristwatch from the referee to make sure that it'd gone over the line. This one very much did. Fantastic goal from Mr. Benny Blanco, who has been in just incredible form of late. I don't know about you guys, but when we were at the start of the season and we were having discussions about, Benny Blanco playing at right back, and he was doing fairly well early doors, and we were like, what's going on here, man? Like, are we just trying to squeeze him in because we've obviously got Saliba and he's doing really, really well? But Ben White's very much just made that position his own. It's going to make the summer transfer window extremely interesting to see what we're going to do and how we're going to progress things. That's for sure. Phil, as long as we don't lose to Liverpool or City, the title will be ours. First time I've admitted that out loud. It's very nice. Positive mental attitude, PMA. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Leeds were done as soon as we scored. What a gift from Phil as well. Yeah, I completely agree. Once obviously we got the goal, we knew that was kind of going to be a thing, wasn't it? You know, once we score a goal, the floodgates open, and then we just go ham on them, and that's exactly what happened. 51 minutes. I just wrote here. Gabriel Jesus is just amazing, winning the ball back. He's got that tracking back ability. As I said, Pep Guardiola calling him the best pressing forward in the world. 54 minutes. Trossard and Jesus combining really, really well. And Trossard with 7 assists in 11 games. And as I said, it was just in a couple of months. A lovely passage of play for the third goal for Arsenal. Trossard and Gabriel Jesus combining beautifully out on the right-hand side. I saw on Twitter a few people talking about how Trossard's not playing very well in the first half, and I could probably agree with you. You've got to remember, you know, he very, very much prefers to play out on the left-hand side or even up front. I didn't know he had that in him, but there we go. It took him a little bit of time to get involved in the game out on the right-hand side, as I said, allowing Saka to have a breather after 52 games in a row. But yeah, Jesus and Trossard, those auxiliary strikers combining beautifully with some really, really simplistic style Wenger, Arteta, Wenger ball, one-touch passing, plays it through. And the run that continues from Gabriel Jesus into the box, and then obviously Trossard playing it across. And just Gabriel Jesus wanted it more. So it was really nice to see, obviously, Jesus getting the first goal to kind of get him back into the swing of things. But it's also very nice as well, and not only to get his brace, but a goal in a passage of play and not really a dead ball situation. So that means it's going to give his confidence just a massive boost for the upcoming games against Liverpool and City and so on and so forth. So I'm really, really happy with that. As I said, Trossard 7 assists now. He got those assists, or was it 3 assists in the first 45 minutes? It's never been done before. A few games ago. Who was that? I can't remember who that was against. I'm sure someone will correct me. Formerly Noza. Southgate's loss is our game. Yeah, it's very interesting about, I'm guessing you're talking about the Ben White situation. Obviously, there was lots of discussions about what was going on there with regards to the England camp and what was going on with regards to Ben White. But I don't think we'll ever really know what happened there. I don't know if Ben White really cares. I'm not a fan of Gareth Southgate. Haven't been a fan of Gareth Southgate for a very, very long time. I think he's a very old-fashioned manager, still using the likes of Maguire and Pickford, being scared to play out from the back because that's not the management style that he brings. And you've got to adapt and survive, as Bear Grylls says, and that's definitely not what Southgate does, that's for sure. So, I agree with you completely and wholeheartedly. Boom, Xhaka, boy 10. What's going on? Welcome. We're winning the fucking league. Can't believe it. I know. I pinch myself every single day. Completely and utterly confused, but there we are. Question. I will try. Okay, so we've got this thing here. So I can highlight these and I can come back at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show, where I'll answer some questions. So if you do have any questions, this is what Danny says. If you do have any questions, put a Q at the start, like what Phil just did here, and then I'll answer him at the end of the show, and we can all have discussions about that and everything like that. So, right. So back to it then. So we're in about the 60th minute here. We're about an hour into the game. Once the third goal had been scored, the game became extremely open. Leeds are obviously really having to now push to try and reduce that deficit, or even try and get themselves back into the game. There's 12 teams at the bottom. Is it 12 teams? Or is it? Yeah, it's 12 teams. It's 12 teams in the Premier League right now that are in and around the drop, which is mind-boggling to me. Don't know how you feel about it. I've never seen so many teams after how many games that are possibly going to go down for relegation. It's craziness. Saka coming on, 58th minute. Was it the 59th minute even actually? And then Martinelli with an unreal effort near post. Trossard putting the ball in, and then Martinelli near post. It's unfortunate that that didn't go in, that's for sure. So Gabriel Jesus comes off for Saka. Really, really smart decision. Jesus obviously looked frustrated with the fact that he was coming off, but this was his first start in 6 months. It's a very astute and smart decision to bring the guy off. He obviously wants the hat trick, but a brace. It was a beautiful display from Gabriel Jesus. So, and then we do a really smart decision as well, and we rest the main man Thomas Partey, who had a little bit of an injury scare during the international break. If you didn't hear about it, don't worry then. Don't stress yourself. People that did hear about it, just like me, having heart palpitations, everything's fine. Jorginho comes on. It's really, really smart decisions for those substitutions. Ramsdale, I think, was an unsung hero once again today. He not only kept the score sheet like it did in the first opening 10 seconds of the game, but he also made a brilliant save in the 63rd minute, reading the game really, really, really well. I think positioning is a really underrated trait from a goalkeeper. Not a lot of people talk about positioning unless you really love and breathe football. But positioning is a really good play. You got to be in the right place to be able to get into the right areas and cover the right correct ground. 74th minute here. I've got Saka is struggling. Mixing up there. If you are putting in questions, I am highlighting those and I'll answer those at the end. We got Boy 10 here. Did I just say Potter with Southgate? I swear I only smoked some government legal tobacco. That's about right. I'm a huge fan of Southgate. He's exceeded all expectations. Oh, right. Gotcha. I gotcha. Brilliant. I thought seeing as this is the first time in 52 games that Saka hasn't started, I really felt like Saka really struggled today. I'm not sure how you guys felt about it, but I really felt like he struggled. Maybe it's just the warming up and being involved in the passages of play. There was moments as well where he wasn't as in sync with Ben White as he usually was. So I don't know if that's like a thing. Obviously, this is the game now where there's pretty much confirmation that he's going to be signing a brand new deal with Arsenal, £300,000. I say, and I'm sure everybody here would agree, that give the man what he wants. We all know how good Saka is, right? But obviously what he's doing for England right now, everyone else around the world is going, oh, this Saka player's pretty decent. And we're like, yeah, he is. 75th minute, Leeds managed to get a goal. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about here. I think Holding had a decent game. There was moments, though, where I felt like Holding was kind of out of his depth. I think a lot of people know, as much as we love him and he's refreshed, loving locks. I'm loving the Alice band at the moment as well, that's for sure. Holding, we are above that level now, aren't we? Rob Holding. I love Rob Holding. I think he's a great footballer. We love him as a personality-wise as well. But we're above that now. I think Holding backed off way too much for the passage of play and the pressing from Leeds for the goal. And obviously there was a massive deflection as well from Zinchenko, which completely took it out of the path of Ramsdale, which is, I'm sure, going to be, if we've all seen the Prime Video documentary, he's going to be slightly peeved with not being able to get the clean sheet in the manner that he did. Because if he didn't take the deflection of Zinchenko, I'm pretty confident that Ramsdale makes a clean save and we don't talk about it. And the 4-0 win is very much what happens. Let's go back to questions from you guys. Phil, Rami seems a lot calmer. Rami. Nice. Ramsdale. Seems a lot calmer than he has been. Maybe because he wasn't under pressure. I think he had a great game today. It was unfortunate that he wasn't able to get his clean sheet due to a deflection. But I thought he was fantastic. There was a lot of moments where he kind of... It's always interesting because when a team dominates as much as we do, this season, sometimes the keepers can kind of switch off. That's generally what we've seen over the years, not necessarily talking about Ramsdale, just talking about keepers in general. We'll see them kind of switching off. And we definitely didn't see that today. Ramsdale, I thought, was on top of his game. And Phil, you're probably onto something with regards to, feeling less pressure, that's for sure. I'm going to call you Mecca. Because I don't want to absolutely brutalize that name, okay? I was thinking we were going to drop points at Anfield, but after watching them today, I've moved on to the City game. I love the attitude. Keep it up. I agree. Worth every penny. I'm sure everyone in the team completely and utterly agree. If you're talking about Rami, yes. Clock Orange has added, boy, I think we need to someone like Tony or Osimhen. If we sell Eddie, we can have Balogun. If we cannot sell him when his stock is high. Yeah, there's obviously going to be lots of conversations over the summer. I think it's good to kind of leave those conversations for then, because this summer is probably going to be the most intense summer of transfer windows I think we're ever going to see. We're going to see it for a very long time, that's for sure. We're looking for an out-and-out striker to complement what we've got going on right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But I agree with you. The idea of selling Eddie and keeping possibly Balogun, because Balogun might fit in our system a lot better than Eddie does. Let's see what happens anyway. Formerly, Noza, we used to say we want Xhaka to play that plays for Switzerland. Now would the Swiss say we want the Xhaka that plays for Arsenal? Beautifully put. Xhaka's my favourite player this season. I can't believe how Arteta has managed to kind of get into the mindset of every single individual player at Arsenal for their individual wants and needs. Some players are going to want an arm around their shoulder. Some players are going to want some constructive criticism. Some players are going to want a kick up the arse. Arteta apparently just said to Xhaka, I need you to play more attacking. And if you can't do it, I'm going to have to bring someone in who can. And Xhaka went, all right, I'll do it. And he's doing it. Just unbelievable ability. So, yes, I'm in total and utter love with Xhaka at the moment, that's for sure. At their goal, Holding didn't look good. The goal was deflection from Zinny's back. Holding had an okay game, hadn't much to do. Yeah, Rudy, as I said, I think that we're beyond the level now of having someone like Rob Holding within the side. It's nice. Obviously, we're just as a team as a whole, we're very much stronger than we have been. So we can have and allow players like Rob Holding to step in and deputise for the likes of William Saliba, who, as everyone knows, has been one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League at the moment. So, but yeah, Holding didn't look great for their goal, but it is what it is. We got the result in the end. But yeah, we wouldn't be having this discussion about Rob Holding if the deflection wasn't there and Ramsdale made the save. So it is, as a catch-22, I guess. Keysby Knight, welcome. They trained all week for Martinelli left, Saka right, and got neither. Yeah, completely agree. Phil, we're talking about the best Arsenal team in a decade, for sure above Holding level now. Agreed. Mecca, I'm going to call you that. Yes, that's what my friends call me too. Brilliant. Thanks. I appreciate it. Phil, I was talking about Saka. Oh, right. Yes, that makes sense. Rudy, Arteta said that there was a bug in the Arsenal team at the moment. I did hear about that at the start of the game, that Saka wasn't apparently feeling very well. White had to break up the warm up early. Saka not feeling well. Hopefully we can master that till next weekend. I am not worried in the slightest. But I did hear Arteta discussing about that at the start of the game. We say that every summer, Deacs. We do. We'll see what happens. But I'm very interested to see who we're going to get as a alternative strike force. That's for sure. Phil, nice. And it also helps that Xhaka is never left on his own with the last man. He's just something else, isn't he? I'm all right. Boy is saying to Clock, I'm all right with selling Nketiah. His contract might still be too fresh, though. I'm not worried about that. I'm probably in a minority who doesn't see any value to signing another striker in the offseason. Want a CM. Interesting. I'd like to hear your insight in that. That's for sure, because I think a striker is very much on the cards of what we need. Xhaka is a key player for Arsenal, no doubt. Agreed. The Xhaka of new, anyway. The attacking midfielder, box-to-box Xhaka midfielder is definitely a key player for us. Boy, Arteta really likes having Holding around as a backup, no doubt. Going to be hard to convince Arteta to let him go, especially after his stellar hair transplant. I agree with you. His Alice Band hair look is just beautiful. And Nicola, what's going on, man? Which is killer. What's going on? So yeah, let's continue discussing. I managed to catch up with every piece of communication there on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter there. So thanks for all the comments. I really appreciate it. As I said, if you have any questions about Arsenal in general or anything like that, make sure you put a Q at the start of the comment, and then I can kind of save them and move through. Towards the end of the stream, I'll have a discussion about the questions. What have we got here? Trossard, 81 minutes, dirty Leeds. There was a few moments, guys, I don't know if you noticed, Leeds leaving a foot in here and there, even towards the end as well. Bamford leaving a foot on Jorginho, like in the 90th minute. And I'm like, why? And I realized, oh, they're Leeds. It's kind of what they do. 83rd minute, Odegaard with a beauty of a ball. This is what I wrote, by the way. Odegaard with a beautiful ball to the attacking midfielder of Xhaka with a glancing header. The thing that I noticed, though, however, Saka drawing in about 4 or 5 of their players out on the right-hand side, playing the ball late to Odegaard, allowing him all the space, the time, and the vision to be able to calculate that pass, and then Xhaka doing that last-ditch run. Just unbelievable. But once again, Xhaka showing again, he's easily my favorite player of the season. The turnaround of him is just, I don't even know what really to say about it. What do you guys think of the goal? Did you notice the Saka drawing of 4 to 5 Leeds players to allow Odegaard freedom to play the ball in? Killer, Deac, would you like to see your favorite player, Harry Kane, in an Arsenal jersey? No, that's a very silly comment. We're not going to respond to that anymore. Ayling was brilliant for us today. I agree. He is Arsenal of old. So Luke Ayling, thanks, buddy. Well said, Maestro. Phil, it's not like we play 2 strikers. So Jesus, Trossy, and Balogun will be Balogun. I'm loving these names. We find next season. Trossard very much plays, as he has played striker and whatnot. I think it would be really astute of us to make a decision and sign and I'm not saying signing someone like Tammy Abraham, but someone of that ilk. I like Tammy Abraham, but I'm saying someone of that ilk, someone that can offer something a little bit different than anything else that we've got on the bench. I would love, in an ideal world, a prime time Olivier Giroud in this side. That's for sure. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Maestro, clear he still has feelings for his boyhood club. Luke Ayling, nice. Paul's got a question. I'm going to save that for later. And then we've got Rudy. Odegaard's pass was a beauty. It fell, I'm guessing you meant to say, it fell directly onto Xhaka's head. Stunning. The pass and the vision of Odegaard, it's quite interesting, right? I remember having a discussion with a friend when Odegaard was signed on a loan from Real Madrid, when we signed him for the 6 months. And he didn't rate him, whereas I thought Odegaard was just the bee's knees. And he's pushed on to become the Arsenal's captain. And now he's performed, with the displays that we're showing now, it really shows that Odegaard was the correct decision from the moment that we signed him from Real Madrid. I still can't believe that we managed to sign him from Real Madrid for how much that we did. So that's crazy. That's crazy for sure. Nicola, here in Serbia, we like Spurs more, but there was a couple Arsenal fans too. Thanks for the beautiful pieces of information. Really appreciate it. Maestro, going to be hard to find someone as handsome as Giroud. That's true. Used to call him GQ Giroud. Loki, evening all. Good evening. Don't adjust your sets. It is just me, Deacon. Danny, if you want, as I said, if you missed it at the very start of the show, guys, it's been 3 weeks since we've done a post-game match chat here with Bergkamp Wonderland. And as you can see, it's just myself. So if you want to go and send, Danny's going through some stuff at the moment. He's okay, but if you want to go and send him some love, please do. You know him on Twitter at @the_GFP. So if you want to just go and chuck him some love, please go and do just that. So evening, Loki, what's going on? Phil, Balogun has potential to be better than Abraham's. We'll see. He's definitely pulling up some stuff in Liga 1, that's for sure. We'll see what happens though. At the end of the day, we've got the whole preseason of the summer as well. So because we saw moments of at the start of this preseason, of this particular season, we saw moments in the preseason where we look a bit different. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I thought even in the preseason, I was like, Arsenal look different. What the hell is going on here? So we'll see. We'll just have to play it by ear. It'll be interesting to see what happens anyway. SMS. Is that are you talking about the Savic, Milinkovic Savic? Is that who you're talking about? Bellingham and Caicedo, Timbers or next best rated young centre-back? Cavadonna, see Matoma. I'm hearing rumours of Matoma as well. He scored again today for Brighton against Brentford in a 3-3 game, which was quite interesting. That was for a winger. I really like Matoma. I really like him. We have a widely versatile set of attackers. 4 of them can already play striker. And this is my point. We have Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, Trossard, and Eddie Nketiah, who, we've got conversations about Eddie Nketiah, about whether we might want to cash in on him, Balogun possibly. But all of those players, apart from Eddie, the auxiliary strikers that we're using at the moment, the Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, and Trossard, they're very sort of like false nine auxiliary strikers, whereas I think we'd really benefit from the possibility of having someone that can bring something slightly different to the table, as I said. So, but in a perfect world, we sign a striker and a central midfielder. We're not going to, for a fact, we ain't just signing. We're back in the Champions League. We've won the Premier League because that's exactly what's going to happen, right? We go and sign both. I'm not worried having to. It's not like we can only pick one. We're going to get both. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it. Rancid Pumpkin. Balogun deserves at least a proper try in this team. Agreed. Definitely after his display in France, he needs to be rewarded for that. And it's going to be interesting with the preseason. Tailwood Studio. Welcome. Goal scoring wingers are much more important than having a goal scoring striker. Agreed. We are atop of the league without one. True. City won the league without one. So did Liverpool. It's not as vital as we think. I agree. I just think it's in a perfect world. I'm not saying, if we're if we can only buy one and we can't get the other, then sure, we can have questions about the central midfield situation and the striker situation. But in an ideal, perfect world, we're back in the Champions League. We've got money to spare. We go and sign on an alternative striker just to complement. That's all I'm saying. But I completely agree with everybody. I love playing strikerless. Love it. I love playing with false nines. The ability to be able to play free-flowing, fluid, attacking football in the final third, where the defending team really can't mark because they're constantly swapping and interchanging, and it's completely fluid for them. I love that style of football. It's good to watch, and obviously it's quite potent as well. So I agree with you. Rudy, Odegaard's been fantastic for us. Great signing. Agreed. Rancid Pumpkin, spend the money on the big money on a midfielder. Who would you want? Because up here we had somebody. What can't remember. There we go. Boy said Milinkovic, Savic, Bellingham, Caicedo. Declan Rice was not mentioned there. So I'm interested to see who the big midfielder would be. Phil, I almost wet myself when we signed Herb Garden. Love it. Permanent. If you don't, it means Odegaard. He means Odegaard. Permanently, someone got sacked at Madrid for that one. Agreed. Formerly known as Ari Odegaard. There are plenty of voices that thought we'd be better off signing Maddison from Leicester. Yes. And we look down upon these people and we question their judgments in everyday situations. That's just kind of how it is. Phil, I'd like to see Balogun play in an All-Stars game. So also, guys, Balogun's got a big decision to make as well with regards to where he wants to take his international. He can play for England, United States, and is it Nigeria? I think it's Nigeria. The smartest decision here for him is to play for the United States. It's a very young and up-and-coming team. We saw that in the World Cup. They look very promising. There's a massive gaping hole in that striker position for United States. He's going to get game time. He's going to get experience. For him, I think it's the smartest decision, but I don't know how you guys feel about it. Loki, Martinelli for man of the match makes things happen. Agreed. That's exactly where my man of the match goes. I'd be interested to see what you guys think about your man of the match for the game, because it went about a little bit. Some people said White. Some people said Gabriel Jesus because of his goals. A few people said Trossard, Martinelli, Ramsdale even. But for me, I think it was Martinelli. Kebab Madonna. We don't need any more players whose names I can't remember. That's true. Clock Orange. We still need a defensive midfielder, a left-sided central midfielder, a right winger, a right centre-back, and a right back. Not necessarily in that order or in priority with regards to first team or someone as a rotational option. because I really can't see past Ben White. For example, I really can't see past Ben White. So, like, as a young and up-and-coming, there was obviously communications that maybe Fresneda was going to be an option. We'll revisit that in the summer. Paul. Sorry about that, mate. We need midfielders more than forwards. I agree with you, but as I said, in a perfect world, sign both. We sign both. We sign the strikers and we sign the midfielders. But yes, priority-wise, I agree with you. Maestro, get Alex Song back. I still remember the pass to Henry. I still remember it against Leeds. Was it? I think it was. Peter Coulson. Sorry I'm late. Had a little cider nap. I think that's okay, considering it's a Saturday. Arsenal, beat Leeds 4-1 to keep us at the top of the... We wouldn't have not dropped off the top of the table. You get my premise. But Peter, welcome. How are you? I was saying earlier, it is just me. Obviously, this has been 3 weeks since our last post-game pod. Danny's got some stuff going on. He's okay, but he's got some stuff going on. So if you want to go and send him some love on Twitter, please do so at @the_GFP. So, Peter, better late than never, as they say. Phil Macker, love a side on that, Peter, as do we all. Keysby Knight, Balogun choosing and to represent the USA coming on preseason tour over here is going to hit different. Agreed. I think it's a smart decision for him. Maestro, fun fact: Odegaard can be translated to desolate farm. If anybody can kind of wiggle their way into connecting desolate farm and Odegaard in a positive manner, I'd love to see your interpretations of just that. Phil Macker, to be fair, Kane will be finished in 3 years. Balogun should be England. Yes, but for now, I really, especially with Southgate being the manager still, I really can't see anybody past Kane with Southgate. He's not going to play progressive, free-flowing, attacking, fluid football. He's going to be playing hoof it, hope for the best. Rancid Pumpkin, disagree. Kane is 30. There is no clear successor. Okay, this is interesting. I never thought about it like that. So there are conversations about possibly maybe Balogun choosing England. I don't see it happening IRL, but it's an interesting conversation to have. But if Southgate is still the England manager for the next 2 to 3 years, I think Kane's going to be starting regardless over the next 2 to 3 years, and Balogun's going to have made a decision by then because he's going to want to play. Is he going to have made a decision by then? Because the World Cup's in 2026, right? So he's got a few years, and it is in America and Canada and Mexico, so it is a home nation. So it's guaranteed football for USA. So who knows? Rudy, my man in the match is Xhaka. So I was asking, guys, who do you think your man of the match was? Mine was Martinelli. Rudy believes it was Xhaka for him, which wasn't the names I mentioned. Was it Ben White? Was it Ramsdale? Was it Gabriel Jesus? He got himself a brace. Who knows? Tailwood Studio. It's brilliant to have a striker to bring on in the dying minutes. But if we want to sign one of them, what's worth their weight in gold? Will they sign for a team that has a forward ahead of them? I agree. It's going to be interesting. The summer is going to be a very interesting time for us Arsenal fans, that's for sure. So we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess. Paul, USA gives him the biggest chance to play first team international and make him the most cash. He's going to jump straight into the first team. He's going to be playing for a number of years. He's going to be in a hosting nation in 2026 with Canada, United States, and Mexico. He's going to get sponsorship deals through the wazoo. United States. Jesus Christ. The money that he would make outside of football and just being like for sponsorships and stuff like that, he's going to make a killing. That's a smart decision from Balogun on the basis of football and making moolah. We'll see what happens, I guess. Boy, not too fussed with Rice, to be honest. Yeah, that's interesting. Not a lot of people are hype on the Declan Rice train, so we'll see what happens in the summer, I guess. I also want to see Charlie Patino actually come back into the squad. So that's a question then. Do we think Charlie Patino is going to be coming back in the preseason, or do you think maybe another loan to possibly a Premiership club, or kind of what Balogun has done and go over to Liga 1 and tear it up there? So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. What about to sell Tierney, brilliant, and get Chilwell? What? This is what? Nope. There's conversations obviously about Tierney leaving Arsenal because he's not getting game time. He doesn't fit within the Arteta system. He's not an Arteta player. blah, 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 blah. But Chilwell, I definitely didn't see that name coming up, that's for sure. I don't know how I feel about that one. Gonna be honest. Low-key, a draw at City and 7 wins, and we're champions again. Why not, eh? Why not? Why not? Let's fucking do it. Tailwood Studios bringing back nightmares of Oleksandr running back when teams were counter-attacking us and then scoring. Could play a brilliant pass now and then, but his positioning as a midfielder was a shit show. Agreed. I think Maestro was taking the piss, but I agree. Eddie Nketiah is the Kane successor. Keysby Knight. Okay. Eddie's going to need to... he needs to be the starting striker for Arsenal if he's going to want to do that. Let's see what happens, I guess. If he's still at Arsenal, then yeah, I want him to be good enough to be able to play for England and Arsenal. That's always nice to see, especially for an English lad like myself. Klopp can be translated to ivory gobshite. Do you remember when Klopp used to be, the Borussia Dortmund manager, and his teeth were all fucking like this shit, just like pointing all different directions, and now his teeth are just completely perfect. So I like that. That's good. Rudy, boys, not too fussed with Rice either. That's interesting. I'm seeing that a lot within Arsenal fans about Declan Rice. A lot. Peter Coulson, am I the only one that was irritated that Saka was used when we were 2-0 up and coasting? Give the guy a rest if he's unwell as well, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. We could have brought on Nelson or something like that. That's for sure. So yeah, we got the Xhaka goal. Going back to the game, guys. By the way, we got the Xhaka goal. Fantastic effort from Saka to draw the passages of play, draw the players towards him to allow Odegaard to be able to play the ball in, and then Xhaka putting the ball into the back of the net to make it 4-1. Xhaka has got 3 goals in 3 games now. Definitely not what we thought we would see at the start of the season, and I'm talking pre-season. But however, we did start flirting with that a little bit towards the end of last season, and we're kind of seeing the fruits of our labor now. That's for sure. So, gentleman's nod to Arteta for turning Xhaka into one of the best box-to-box midfielders in football at this moment in time. So yeah, that wraps up the game. GG Arsenal 4-1. We're looking very, very tidy at the top of the table. What else we got here? Maestro, Giroud was my man of the match. He looked stunning. Brilliant. Phil, man of the match. Jesus, just delighted he scored, as was I. Maestro, I can see Patino at Marseille. Be interesting to see where he goes. It really will be. Guys, do you want Patino in the team next season, or do you want him on loan to a top-tier team like what Balogun's done, or in a Premiership team? Not a Championship, Premiership team. Phil, too early for Patino. As you say, a Prem loan would be good. I agree. Rudy, Tierney shouldn't be allowed to leave. You can never leave. No, that's it. You'll tie you in the room. It's not leaving. I think Tierney will leave in the summer. As I said, he's not an Arteta player. He doesn't play the Arteta way. He's quite an old. As I love him to pieces as a person. We all love the Tesco's bag and stuff like that, and the fact that he tucks in his shirt and he's got that model professional about him, and we love that. And he's looked really good when he's come on as well. I think for game time, he's coming into his prime now. He's going to want to he's going to want to play week in, week out. I see something like a Newcastle coming in for him for like 40 mil. And I'm going to have to just say, yeah, let's do it. Chilwell being sold this summer. I still wouldn't go for Chilwell. Yeah, it's just that. Jesus always comes good around Easter. It's great to see him back. Brilliant that he got himself a brace today. Fantastic play from Odegaard on the penalty as well to kind of defer the mind games away from Jesus and then giving him it to a last minute, and obviously him getting the goal, which allowed him to score the goal in the what was it, the 54th minute there with Trossard. That was really, really nice. Phil, is Keysby on drugs? Who knows? Rice flatters to deceive in terrible London plastic hammer side. Maestro, Tierney is Scottish Leighton Baines. Oh, God. Tierney is Rudy. Tierney is Arsenal through and through and good enough to play next season. And I'm not questioning that either. I like him as a player. I just don't think he's going to want to hang around. I think he's going to want a game time. That's all I'm saying. Avon, welcome, evening. How are you? Peter, damn proud of you, Deac, stepping up and representing the ABW. Where are the rest of the army of the ABW professional gobshites in our time of need? To be fair, as I said, Danny's got some stuff going on right now. That's the reason why it's been 3 weeks since our last post-match talk, which was the 3-2 victory against Bournemouth. And what a fucking game that was. So I was chatting to Danny last week, and I said, Danny, if you want, I would love to do the post-match games for a couple of weeks. If you're happy with that. He said yes, and here I am doing the business. So I thank you all for being so awesome and lovely to me, considering I'm on my Todd. And that was a choice that I made. I wanted to do this on my own, as Danny is the guy that I love to. I was going to say do it with. That just sounds wrong. Love to do the post-match pods with. So I'm doing it in honor of the man himself. So Loki, Tierney will go to Newcastle for the climate. Yeah, he will. He will prefer it. I think he's our best left back. Interesting. Okay. Tailwood Studio, Rice with less responsibility, defensive work would be definitely a bonus in a dominant side. His ability to drive forward and not be pushed off the ball would be a joy for any decent side. Agreed with you. Guys, remember, if you have any questions, make sure to put a Q at the beginning. And I've got 4 questions at the moment. One from Phil, one from Clock Orange. I was going to say Clockwork Orange. One from Boy Tendio, and one from Paul Nell. Sorry. If you have any questions, make sure to put them into the chat right now. Phil, hiding in their mummy's basements, no doubt. Big up the Deacs. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Rudy, but Tierney, but TK still has a long contract at Arsenal. Why shouldn't we sell him? We need him. We need a replacement in every single position. That's it. I completely agree with you, Rudy. Listen, I like Tierney. I think he's a fantastic rotational option for the left-back position. And some people believe to him be better than Zinchenko. He's proven to be a fantastic model professional. However, I don't think Tierney will want to wait around in the summer and next season if he's not getting week in, week out game time. That's all I'm saying. I love him. I just don't think he's going to want to hang around. That's all I'm saying. If he stays, winning. If he doesn't, that's why. Keysby Knight, admittedly, yes, I'd be bricking this run in otherwise. Sure. Peter Coulson, you're doing great, Deacs. Thank you. Super appreciate all the nice comments. It is really, really appreciated, guys. Phil, we're not here to judge if you want some sweaty Danny love. I don't think I'd be the only one involved in this sweaty Danny love situation. And Keysby Knight with a question. It is appreciated. So, right, okay. So that pretty much sums up that then. We'll answer these questions with you guys. If you want to pipe into these questions, you can as well. I don't think there's anything else that I want to discuss. No, we're all good in that regard. Okay, all right, then let's just do the questions then, shall we? If you have any questions, please do. So Phil Macker has come in with it. This was at quite early on in the pod. Question, with Jesus back, Trossy fitting up front, and the possibility of Balogun coming back. What does that mean for Eddie Dickoff? These nicknames, man, they're crazy. So let me translate this for everybody, including people that are going to be listening to this on a podcast without the visuals. With Gabriel Jesus back and Trossard fitting in up front, and the possibility of Flo Balogun coming back, what does that mean for Eddie Nketiah? I think Balogun deserves a chance. He's playing phenomenal football in France right now. I've always liked him as a player as well. I used to watch him in the under-23s over at Barnet. So I liked Balogun even back in those days. And this was like 5, 6, maybe more years ago. In regards to Eddie Nketiah, we gave him a contract because of what was going on at the start of this season. That doesn't mean that we can't. The thing is with a contract, we keep the player, but we also retain the value. So therefore, we're able to then sell the player for a markup price. He's English as well, so he's going to have that markup as well because he's English. So it's going to be interesting. I think and I believe that I see possibly Eddie going. That's I don't know how you guys think about that. I think that's where that's going to go. I really, really do. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. So thank you for the question, Phil. I think that's where that's going to go. We're going to give Balogun the chance and we're going to let Eddie go. But I could be completely wrong. Just letting you know. Right. Next question. Clock Orange question. Do you think Holding can still hold on till Southampton game and we get Saliba back only from City onwards? I'm worried about the Liverpool game at Anfield with Holding. I don't know how you. I'm sure you guys will agree with that. But yes, give as much time as needed for Saliba to be able to come back. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's fingers cross it, shall we? Boy Tendio, why do a lot of Arsenal fans want to sell Balogun? Half of them would be demanding we sign him on an off season if he wasn't already on an Arsenal contract. Agreed. I think a lot of people are in the mindset that Balogun's had his time already to be able to do what he's doing, and these are the same people that want to give Nelson a contract. So who knows? I guess let them live in their little dream world. Balogun, and as well as the fact that he's hot property right now, so we can make a bit of profit or whatever. But yes, I agree. I think Balogun should get the chance. What's the point of sending him on loan for him to do what he's doing and then go, oh, cheers, mate, bye? What message does that send to other players that are going to be Charlie Patino, for example? So Charlie, okay, we want you to go out on loan. If you dominate, we're going to sell you. Bye. Kind of that's how I feel about that one. So yeah, I think I want Balogun to have a chance. 100%. 100%. Paul, what's bigger, Holding's hair redemption or Xhaka's turnaround? Oh shit. They're both monumental. It's like, oh Christ, I don't know. Guys, what do you think? I think they're both just as big as each other. I can't pick. Keysby Knight, question, who starts for the front three versus Liverpool? Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli. No. Christ. What a dilemma. That's why Arteta gets paid the big bucks, I guess. Comes with the rank. Saka, Martinelli, Jesus? I don't think Saka liked, or maybe it was because he was feeling rough. I'm going to stick with the Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. I'm going to do that. Peter Coulson, I love the Arsenal, but I would buy. But should I spend £1,000 for a Wolves ticket instead of a holiday? I was hearing rumours that they were going for €28,500. So if you found one for £1,000, I guess. They're all there. So there's the questions for this moment. So we're going to go back to the regular chat. Tailwood Studio, Kieran, Tierney is definitely the best left back. We don't play, but we don't play with the left back. Agreed. We're playing with a midfielder who just gets placed at left back on the team sheet. Agreed. And I love it. I love inverted wing backs. I'm a massive Football Manager fan. And I love playing with inverted wing backs. That's one of my favorite things. Stan the man. Good afternoon. What's going on, man? I hope you're well. Phil saying hey to Stan. Question. We'll just do the questions from now on then. Should we just be happy to be in the title mix without the deluded bullshit expectations? After all, this feels good. Agreed. Something that I said, and I have said in many, many podcasts now with ABW, is enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. A lot of people like to enjoy the end. But the whole purpose of football is enjoying the journey, not enjoying the result. If you don't enjoy the journey and you just enjoy the result, then you're not a fan of football. You've got to enjoy the journey. You really, really do. I am loving watching football right now. Watching Arsenal. I've always been a type of person to base my entire IRL stuff around the fixture listings of Arsenal. You know, I've got every single fixture put into my diary on my phone. I know exactly what's happening, when they're happening, and everything like that. And I base everything around that. That hasn't changed for years. However, this season, I've watched every single Arsenal game that has been available to me. And I'm talking like even the 3:00 kickoffs, watching them on some streams. I have watched every single minute of every single game so far this season. And it's the first time I've done it in a while. And I'm fucking loving it. Long may it continue. Stan, only 9 to go now. I know, right? 9 finals to go. Low-key with evening, Stan. Nice. Phil, didn't the club give Balogun a contract based on them thinking he would be better long-term prospect than Eddie? I don't know. If they did. 3D chess. Doesn't shock me. It's Arteta. Low-key, thumbs up, peeps. Agreed. Listen, right? Hit the thumbs up, yeah? All right? Go and hit it now. Appreciate it. Thanks, Loki. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the thumbs up on the YouTubes. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, it costs you nothing. Subscribe to the YouTube. If you're on Twitch, hello. If you don't already follow us, please do. If you have a Twitch Prime, costs you nothing. So thank you very, very much. What we got here, Maestro. Joel Campbell was in a similar position to Balogun right now. Wow, Joel Campbell, the Costa Rican. That's bringing back some names. Stan the Man, busy day, boxing next, and then WrestleMania. Oh, snap, crack, pat. Oh, wow. Okay, Stan's got it all today. You having a good day? Have you got all the refreshments available for you? Oh, that sounds cool though, man. Is it WrestleMania tonight? I haven't watched wrestling in years, but WrestleMania is WrestleMania, right? Peter Coulson, really want to keep Eddie and let him and Flo duke it out for backup to Jesus. That's a very interesting concept. It's something that we could do and then save money up and then really spunk out for a couple of central midfielders. Who knows? DWTT. Good evening, Deac and chat room. Good evening. Thanks for popping by. Super appreciate. Phil, boxing and WrestleMania is that code for arguing with the missus followed up by makeup sex. Probably. And Stan's putting a laughing emoji. So I think he hasn't giving anything else apart from that. So that's possibly what's happened here. Phil living in a sort of minority report situation here. DWTT with, I love your profile picture, by the way. Right, number 8. Is that signed as well by Mr. Ian Wright? Fantastic stuff. Loving that. That's where I got my absolute obsession for the number 8, which I have on my Haywards Heath shirt here. This is my lucky Haywards Heath shirt, and Arsenal haven't lost in this shirt yet, so I wear it every single game now. You know what it's like with superstitions. If you have a superstition yourself, put it in chat. I'd love to hear what your superstitions are. My current superstition, as I said, is my Haywards Heath shirt. Arsenal have not lost a game whilst I've wore. But obviously, that's not been many games, but they've not lost. So I wear every single time now. Front 3 is easy. Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. Agreed. Trossard backs him up. I agree. That's what I said. Our version of the Jota. Back when he was punishing us off the bench. Yeah, Jota was horrific today. Horrific, as was the rest of Liverpool. But there we are. Loki, Holding has hair like me. It only cost me 15 quid yesterday, for fuck's sake. Yeah, Holding's that hair transplant is impressive. Stan the Man who? Lol. Nice. Tailwood Studio. Saka was warming up after 15 minutes. He was. I did jot that down, actually. Hold on. I did jot that down in my notes, actually, that Saka was warming up quite early doors. And I can't remember where I read it. Because I've got just a mess of notes. Just an absolute and utter mess of notes. So I don't know where it is, but yeah, he was warming up really early. Really, really early. I don't know what that's all about. But, Arteta said there was something about an illness going around. So he wasn't enjoying the bench at all. Probably right. Peter Coulson, question. What 3 teams does the Deacon want to go down and why? I'm going to have to look at the table, actually, just so I can really refresh thy memory. Hold the phone just one momento. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind Nottingham Forest going down because I live in Derby now. And I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Derby. And Derby are hopefully going to get back into the Championship. Kind of peg down Nottingham Forest. I think it's going to fuck them financially because all the signings they've made. But there we are. It would be great if West Ham went down. No, they were not going to go down because you get Declan Rice for cheap. No, Leeds would be nice because they're scummy Leeds. I said early on Everton. I'm not a fan of Scouse teams. So possibly Everton. So let's just do that then. Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and Everton. And we've got 12 teams: Palace, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Leeds, Everton, Leicester, West Ham, and Southampton to potentially be dragged into a relegation battle towards the end of the season. Stan the man doing a fine job there, Deac. Thank you, Stan. Super appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very, very much. I had a chat with Danny a week ago, and I said that I would really love to honour him and by doing a post-match pod, and here I am. Phil, winning the title is no longer bullshit. We're winning the title. Don't worry about it. Tailwood, Peter Coulson, if Sean Dyche was managing 3 teams, I would say them. Agreed. DWTT stands for don't waste the trip, and Arsenal are enjoying the trip through the season. Why not get a trophy at the end? Zinc/Jesus believe we can do it. Come on, you guys. Agreed. We're winning the title. It's not even a question. As I said, I'm enjoying the ride up until the moment that we're going to win the title. And we're going to win the title. I'm not worried about that. Phil Macker, I'm in the stream heaven after finding the perfect app. What perfect app? Keysby Knight, Tappy freeloaders. Oh, yes. Make sure you like that. Make sure you like the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Loki, is Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant on Stan? Wow, that's some names of the past. DWT, yes, Deac, it's signed. Righty. Fucking love that, man. That's fucking awesome as shit. Formerly Noza, is Rice a smokescreen for Bellingham? I don't even want to finish that sentence. The idea of Jude Bellingham coming to Arsenal in the summer. I can't see Jude Bellingham coming. But fuck me, what a signing that would be. Holy shit. Are you AJ or a Fury guy? I'm definitely not an AJ guy. I'm a Fury guy. I'm the Gypsy King kind of. I'm not a massive boxing person, but I prefer Fury to AJ. I'm not a fan of AJ. That is for sure. Phil, never sleep with a girl who is a Spurs supporter. I'm not sure if that is superstition or just high standards. I think that's probably a little bit of both. Not even high standards, just common standards. Boy, Saka is like a diesel engine. It gets some time to get running. You're probably right. Loki, superstition. I have to sit down posh pee. No, please. Is that really what you have? Is that really what you do? You posh pee? If you do a week. You've been posh peeing quite a lot. Holy shit! Is that really what you do? If you have any superstitions, guys, post them in the chat because I want to have a giggle because that's just ridiculous. I've done it before. That's crazy. Boy 10, City to get relegated by the FA after they're found guilty of multiple FFP breaches. I don't think that's going to happen for a couple of years. Please, God, make it happen. I don't think it's going to happen for a number of years. They'll probably get like a £5 million fine. That's it. They got taken out of the Champions League for a couple of seasons, didn't they? Do you remember that? So, I don't know. See what happens, I guess. Peter Coulson, top 3 desert island video games. Where are we going? Where's this direction? We're talking about football and Arsenal. Top 3 desert island video games. The ones that I've got on my library, I'll quickly answer this because I like that. I've got, where is it? Stranded Deep. Stranded Deep's really good. Raft. That's my favorite by a country mile. And then one more. It's a very niche options there. Desert island video games. It's very, very, very niche. One more. I can't think of one more off the fly whilst I'm doing this. I can't think of one. I'll just, as I said, Stranded Deep and Raft. If you haven't played Raft, go and play it. It's brilliant. It's such a good game. Keysby Knight, green tea shot after every goal at the bar. No matter what happens, it's a good time. Recently, I've been quite drunk after our games. No shit, Sherlock. Phil Mack, a question. Did anyone get taken in by Arseblog's April Fool? I was ready to go on a rant about it on the FA. No, I'm not. What did he say? I did not. I don't know about the Arseblog April Fool. I'm not sure about that. Let me know, Phil. Let me know. Telwood Studio, it's odd how the teams we sign are world-class players, plus we're top with the players who were considered rejects. Odegaard, Jesus, Zinni, top clubs don't know how to get the best out of players nowadays. I think that's a thing that's been going on for many, many years. I talk about it a lot with United and the fact that they had players like Di Maria there and who else? Who else was there? Who's the Dutch Memphis Depay? United have had some well, and look at Chelsea. They had players like Kevin De Bruyne. We're like, he's crap. Sorry, I don't know. DWTT question: total points versus Liverpool, City, Newcastle. I think that we'll get the 3 points. Liverpool, 1 point City, 3 points Newcastle. So 7 points. I want 9, but it will be tough. Love it. I'd rather that. Give our best to Danny for those who aren't on Twitter. I will do so. I will do so. Don't you worry. Thank you very much, Keysby Knight, for remembering the man, the myth, the legend that is Danny. Send him some love. As I said, if you haven't already, send him some love on Twitter at @the_GFP. If you don't use Twitter, which is perfectly understandable, just shout out love, and I will post it up on this, and then you can watch the stream. Phil, Loki is broken. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. With the sitting down peeing, I agree with you there. Maestro, our playthrough of Raft was class. It was Football Manager, a FIFA, and a Chucky egg. Brilliant. Far Cry, great shout. I only follow the games on Arsblog's live updates. When I don't watch the game, we seem to win more. Keep it up. Don't change that up. Then answer Skyrim, Madden, and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners VR. Oh, do you know what? I've wanted a VR headset for fucking years. I'd love a VR headset, and now I finally have room to use a VR headset. It's just so goddamn expensive. They're so expensive. But I would love to play the Walking Dead VR game. I've always said that looks freaking brilliant. Dead Island 2's coming out soon. That should be good. Arsblog said apparently the FA were going to deduct points as we hadn't been sending the players through the mix zone after games. All right, he got you. Well played to Arsblog. I interviewed him years ago. He's a good guy, Arsblog. Good guy. Avon, clubs not knowing how to use talented players is how we got Bergkamp and Henry. Agree. Scarface, the world is not enough video game. Now we're going down some classic routes. Loving it. Peter Coulson, we only sign one player this summer. Who? Bellingham. Anyone. Bellingham. That's who I would go for. All right. We've been going on for hour and 20 minutes here. We've gone through the game. And what a game that was. A 4-1 victory over the dirty Leeds, who I hope get relegated alongside Everton. And who was the other team that I said? Everton and... I can't even remember now. Who was it? That's how much I don't give a shit. Nottingham Forest. I'm too busy enjoying the life at the top, but there we are. So we've gone over the game, the fantastic 4-1 victory. We've given a fantastic gentleman's nod to the man, the myth, the legend that is Danny, the GFP. So go and send him love. If you haven't already liked the video, please do so on YouTube. If you aren't already subscribed to us, please do so there as well. That's my Twitter handle, @DeaconJustified. As it says, don't follow me on Twitter. You will regret it. Wouldn't recommend following me on Twitter. I do put it there. However, if you are interested in politics, then sure, but I wouldn't recommend it. As for your own peril, I guess. We've got a few last comments here that I'll go through, but I will let's end up the stream now. But I just wanted to thank you. I'm doing this on my own, and it was an active choice from myself. I wanted to see if I could do it because I've done Twitch streaming for years. I used to do it full time. I love interacting with you guys. You're such a fantastic bunch of people. We love coming together and talking about the Arsenal and how wonderful that we're doing this season, enjoying the journey, having discussions, hyping us up, enjoying the possibility of, we've got, 9 finals left. I'm fucking loving this. Really, really loving this. So thanks for being so awesome, all of you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Low key, Phil, try a sit down pee, posh pee, then complain, my good man. Yes, I low key, man. I don't know how you do that, but there we go, I guess. Any team with Dyche or Rodgers at the helm, agreed. Phil, to be fair, I love a sit down pee. I don't tell everyone. Okay, we're going into some deep and dark pieces of information and everyone. Rogers even. I know what you meant. Don't worry about it. Up the Gunners, low-key agree with you there. If we sign one player, then it has to be SMS or Caicedo or Bellingham. I'm guessing you mean Milinkovic-Savic. Then yes. The Inter Milan. Is Inter, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Loki Chisel. Love you. Thank you so much for the love. Phil Fabpod with the ABW1. Big up the love to Danny, King of ABW. Agree with you. I regretted it. Peter Coulson, fantastic job, Deeks. The German flower pot will be proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Telwood Studio, it's if our highest performing players are the ones who weren't class when we signed them, is it beneficial for us to sign world-class players now? There's a twister for the minds. There's a twister for the minds. As Wenger would say, we don't sign world-class players, we make them. I think Arteta's going to be doing similar things to that over the coming years. Look at what Arsenal has done to people. There are men out here sitting down to pee. Stop that. I know, right? It's crazy. DWTT, great show, Deac and chat room. Agreed. Thank you so much for all of the love. It is super appreciated, guys. I'm going to try and do the end broadcast here and time it perfectly with the outro and how Danny does it. And I'm going to nail it. I'm going to nail it first time. Drop a mic. Or drop a mic. Mike Wazowski, that's where my brain went first. Yeah, drop a like. Not Mike. Mike's a good lad. Agreed. Drop a like, guys, on your way out. It is appreciated. Maestro, you're all welcome. Thank you so much for all the love today, guys. It's been super duper appreciated. Oh, one more question then. Would you sacrifice Saliba for the title? God damn! I don't even want to answer that question. Sorry, Keysby. I'm just not going to answer it. I'm leaving it dead. I'm leaving. I can't do it. Come on, you Gunners. Very enjoyable podcast. We'll definitely be back. Thank you, Telwood Studios. It is super appreciated. Hopefully, Danny will rejoin us in the coming weeks. And he will be, but hopefully within the coming weeks. But he will be with us again in the closing games of the season. Thank you so much for all of the love. It's super appreciated. Chesney. Don One, you've joined. You've joined in late, but thank you so much for the love, guys. It is super appreciated. Right, I'm going to end the broadcast now. You're all freaking awesome. I will see you guys next week. That is the Liverpool game, right? Super professional here at ABW. Apologies. Yes, Sunday the 9th. Yes. Wait. No. West Ham. We got West Ham? No. Christ. 2nd, 4th, 5th, 8th. Yeah, 9th. Yeah, cool. And then it's super professional. Peter Coulson, thank you for the love. It's super appreciated. And yeah, guys, please take care of yourselves. And yeah, as they say, up the Gunners and all of that.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I've just eaten a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.